Tonight, despite cancellation after cancellation, one local county fair is going ahead with this year's festivities. How they plan to keep fairgoers healthy.
Plus, special session underway. The latest from Minnesota's capital as lawmakers come to terms on some big topics.
And the mask mandate discussion continues. What you should expect ahead of the Duluth City Council's vote on the proposal tonight.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Many events around the country have been canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic as case numbers continue to surge. That includes the many summertime favorites like county and state fairs.
However, the Head of the Lakes Fair in Superior will be operating this year. CBS3's John Cardinelli is live at the fairgrounds in Superior for us. And John, in the midst of a pandemic, what changes can we expect for this year's fair?
Kristen, Tony, come next week, this area you can see right here behind me that's currently empty, it'll be filled with carnival rides, games, and food vendors. And earlier today, I spoke with organizers for the fair here, and they say they've been working very closely with the health department to ensure that everyone who comes here feels safe. According to organizers, many changes will be implemented to ensure safety. It all starts when guests enter the fairgrounds. Everyone will be required to get a temperature check. Masks are not required, but they are highly encouraged. Scattered around these fairgrounds will be hand washing and sanitization stations. Organizers say they'll also have special disinfecting foggers to blow on the rides to keep them clean. Organizers say there won't be a capacity limit since there is a lot of room at the grounds, but more staff have been hired to monitor social distancing. As soon as they feel they've reached a capacity, organizers say we'll stop admitting guests.
This year, we are going to maximize the usage of this grounds. There will be there will hopefully little to no touching. There'll be social distancing, and if we didn't think that we could put this fair on safely, we wouldn't have it.
Food vendors also have protocols to follow. Every vendor is individually working with the health department. All lines will require social distancing, and condiments will have to be distributed in individual packages. And with all these guidelines, it certainly won't feel like a typical fair, but hopefully people, when they come out here, sure do feel safe. And the fair will start next Tuesday and it'll end next Sunday.
All right, thanks, John. And by the way, Mayor Jim Payne recently canceled Superior's 4th of July fireworks display due to the growing number of confirmed cases in the area. And John, what did he have to say about the decision to hold this fair?
So, Kristen, we did reach out to Mayor Jim Payne. He declined to comment since Douglas County is the one who actually manages the fairgrounds here. And we reached out to Douglas County, but we have not heard back from them by news time.
All right, thanks, John. Well, as of today, Douglas County is reporting 61 confirmed COVID-19 cases, and that's up 6 from last Friday.
A rare sight in Canal Park this morning. That is the Presque Isle ship scraping the canal wall as it departed Duluth under the aerial lift bridge. It happened around 7:35 this morning. The 1,000-footer is part of the Duluth-based Great Lakes Fleet. In this sped-up time-lapse video from the nearby Maritime Museum, you can see the ship seems to veer off course as it passed under the bridge. We did reach out to the company to find out why that happened, but did not hear back by news time. Duluth Seaway Port Authority officials were not sure if the pier wall was damaged. The vessel was anchored outside the harbor shortly after the incident. And Dave joins us for a quick look at the weather. Dave, pretty nice Monday, but you're tracking some storms out there to the west tonight, huh?
Yeah, there's a low pressure system out to the west that's coming our way and bringing a decent chance for showers and thunderstorms. Of course, some embedded in that system could become severe. Let's set the stage by looking at the dew points around our region, because the dew point is a good gauge of potential severity for storms. You get your dew points into the 70s, explosive. 60s, that's pretty powerful. 50s, you're riding the fence. And around our area, we have upper 50s to lower 60s for our dew point. So the severe threat is there. But on a bright note, it's not as bad as it would be if it was juicier out there. Lots of energy stored in water vapor. But that low pressure system coming in from the west is going to feed on it tonight, lift it up with that cold front, and bring us the chance for the storms. So we're looking at our day planner for Tuesday, which says the worst of the action should be tonight. And then it's really just rain and isolated non-severe thunderstorms during the day tomorrow. High temp falls to 74 thanks to cloud cover, but it'll warm up again as as early as Wednesday, and we'll talk about that with the 7-day forecast in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is extending the state's peacetime emergency used to navigate the COVID-19 pandemic.
It was set to expire today and has been in place since March 16th. The peacetime emergency gives the governor power to issue executive orders and regulate businesses during the COVID-19 pandemic. Walz's office said the emergency orders he's issued have allowed for an increase in testing. It's allowed the state to provide housing support, assistance to small businesses, and other support systems. The latest extension lasts until August 12th.
And on day one of Minnesota's special legislative session, leaders say they've agreed on most details of a bonding bill and a tax bill. That's according to the Minnesota Senate's top Republican. You'll remember during this year's first special session, which lasted a week back in early June, lawmakers could not compromise on police accountability after the death of George Floyd. Governor Tim Walz's emergency powers during the pandemic was another sticking point, with Republicans hoping to rescind those powers. And we spoke to our local lawmakers to hear their thoughts on the special session. Representative Liz Olson, a Democrat representing the West Duluth area and the House Majority Whip, says she hopes they'll reach an agreement on police accountability and criminal justice reform.
So we're back trying to get closer to see if we could get to an agreement. I think we have a really great package of legislation here on the House side that I'm hopeful that the Senate can agree to take some of the really big pieces. Specifically for us, we care deeply about, that we need systemic change and we need accountability.
Olson says she will also push for funding for Duluth area projects to be included in the bonding bill. Meanwhile, Republican Representative Sandy Lehman of Cohasset says she feels they're getting close to reaching an agreement on police reform, but there's still more work to do.
We need to address police reforms, and we need to have compromise. And so I think that people at this special session hopefully are a little more understanding of the need for compromise. And if we all come in with that spirit of compromise, we will accomplish some things.
She says she hopes this will be the last time a special session will have to be convened, but stressed this one happened in order for lawmakers to vote on the extension of Governor Tim Walz's peacetime emergency used to navigate the pandemic.
Tonight, the Duluth City Council is expected to vote on an ordinance requiring face masks while in public places. Councilors Eric Forsman and Therese Tomanek announced the emergency proposal July 1st. The ordinance would require people to wear a face mask in indoor public spaces within the city of Duluth. Hundreds of emails have been sent to council members sharing concern and support for the proposed rule. If passed, Forsman said the new rule would go into effect immediately and could last through local and state emergency declarations. We'll have the latest on the vote coming up tonight at 10.
One of the nation's most prestigious hospital systems is giving back to the Northland's indigenous communities during the pandemic. Johns Hopkins opened its Great Lakes Hub in Duluth last year. Their goal was to research health impacts on Native American communities. While researchers are still able to interview tribal members, everything has to be done virtually now. The Great Lakes Hub is also creating care packages for the communities they're researching, made up of household items, food, protective equipment, and more.
We are just trying to decrease and mitigate the impact of the pandemic on tribal communities. I am very grateful that our office had resources available to be able to contribute in a meaningful way to something that is so important and so urgent.
The Hub got donations from several different organizations to make the care packages possible. While the specific communities the Hub works with are not shared to the public, they work with areas in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Canada.
Authorities say alcohol was a factor in a crash that sent 2 people to the hospital in Itasca County. It happened just after 10 o'clock last night on Highway 169 and County Road 15 in Taconite. Authorities say a 20-year-old Grand Rapids man failed to yield at that intersection and struck a Kia, causing it to roll. The driver of the Kia, a 30-year-old Taconite woman, and the Grand Rapids man were both taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Meanwhile, an electrical fire caused $200,000 worth of damage to a sixplex in Duluth's Morgan Park neighborhood. Crews responded to the structure at 88th Avenue West near Grand Avenue just before 10 o'clock this morning. No one was hurt, and the cause was ruled accidental.
Interim University of Wisconsin President Tommy Thompson is supporting a lawsuit challenging the Trump administration's restrictions on international students. Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul is one of 18 attorneys general that joined the lawsuit. About 200 universities backed the legal challenge to a new directive saying international students cannot stay in the U.S. if they take all their classes online this fall. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, the state of hockey is in question. After a local tournament had COVID concerns, other arenas are rethinking their game plans.
Well, so far for the month of July, we're up 1 inch on our rain totals. Still hasn't knocked down that big deficit from the first 6 months of the year, but we'll go a little bit farther towards that goal here tonight with a good chance of rain coming our way. We'll talk about when it'll get here coming up after our break.
Live, local, CBS3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS3. Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live, local, CBS3 Duluth.
At Lift Pro International, we have custom designed and fabricated lifting, weighing, and rigging solutions for more than 40 years. With a worldwide presence and reputation, we need world-class insurance to match. This is why we trust Cindy of Vernon Insurance to make sure we're fully covered no matter where in the world we're doing business.
Protect your home, vehicle, or business, and your peace of mind. Call Cindy at Vernon Insurance today.
Do you have a loved one that needs a little extra help? Do they want to be in the comfort of their own home instead of an unfamiliar place? Let the Dove Home Health professionals be that caring and professional support. With a number of services such as skilled in-home nursing, physical and occupational therapy, pain management, and other specialties, we strive to keep our clients safe while promoting their independence. Let the Dove Home Health professionals help your loved ones stay at home.
The U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame Museum in Eveleth is America's hockey showplace to preserve history and honor the legends of the game. Tour their collection of memorabilia, video displays, and interactive exhibits honoring this game we love. Plan your visit today.
Invasive species are organisms that are non-native to an ecosystem. They outcompete native species and reduce the quality of our resources. We can all prevent the spread by following the simple clean, drain, and dry steps. Clean all watercraft, trailers, and outdoor equipment. Drain all water from boat live wells, motors, ballast tanks, and bilges. And lastly, thoroughly dry all equipment and gear. Do your part to preserve our amazing outdoor heritage for future generations.
At Super One Foods, you'll find more than just low prices and better choices. You'll find friendly faces like ours, working hard to save you money.
Super One has a tireless commitment to quality and freshness and a goal of delivering 5-star service to every customer to bring the absolute best value to your shopping experience. Check out these specials available at all Super One locations going on now.
So stop into the Super One Foods right in your neighborhood. Super One Foods, serving you low prices and better choices.
You work hard for your money and deserve to see it go the extra mile. Join us Wednesday mornings and hear from local experts on tips to better manage your finances in Eye on Money on Live Local CBS 3. Brought to you by MPPL Financial. Join the Greater Downtown Council for movies in the parking lot. Friday nights all summer long. Watch movies from the comfort of your vehicle. Reserve your $10 parking spot ahead of time at downtownduluth.com/events/movies in the park. Present your digital ticket at the gate and enjoy. Bring your own food or have snacks from the concession stands. It all starts on July 17th with this blockbuster presented by Carlson Orthodontics and Live Local CBS 3. Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live Local CBS 3 Duluth. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, for the short term here, folks, probably not a good night to go swimming on Park Point or Wisconsin Points. National Weather Service has issued a rip current alert there until 10 o'clock tonight. The winds are just right, the right velocity and the right fetch to create undertows, so not safe swimming. And besides, with storm systems looming, who wants to get caught out there in a thunderstorm if those start coming down as well? So hopefully, perhaps Wednesday conditions will become right for swimming, but from now through Tuesday, it may not be a good time to go to the beach anywhere around our region. We'll start talking about the forecast here by eyeing up the current conditions at the airport in Duluth. We're at 74 degrees, relative humidity 62%, a southeast winds going 14 miles per hour, And the barometric pressure, that's 29.83 inches of mercury. 1,010 millibars. It's going down slowly as a low pressure system comes our way from the west. Temperature-wise today, we're looking at 78 to 81 on the Upper Peninsula and 79 to 81 northwestern Wisconsin. Getting into Minnesota, low to mid-70s for many towns. Although as you get farther south, places like Moose Lake, they've hit 81 degrees. So not as warm as last week, but we could start getting warmer again once we get into Wednesday. Actually, we're in the range of a short time cooling trend here as cloud cover comes in with the low and clouds block the sun, taking our temps down. Perhaps only mid-70s at most tomorrow. But first, we need to talk about our Doppler map. Low pressure system is coming our way from the northwest, and right now its cold front is in the northwestern parts of Minnesota. Timeline for this system, well, I think what's happening now is going to, of course, eventually change. And the front's going to slide through our region, kicking up a chance for showers and storms. And by 10 o'clock here tonight should be around the Twin Ports area. So from 8 till about 10, folks on the Iron Range through border country could get some thunderstorms. And there's a chance you could get some severe ones as well. And then once we get past the 10 o'clock hour here, the front goes through Wisconsin and into the Upper Peninsula. And that should create storms in that neck of the woods by midnight. And then they should wrap up fairly early tomorrow, giving us a couple hours worth of a break on Tuesday before the chance for the precip redevelops in the afternoon. Well, this is how much precip I think we're going to get out of the deal here in northern Minnesota. Could be another quarter to about a half inch for a lot of our towns. But in Wisconsin and Michigan, we could run from a half inch in Waters Meet to a bit over an inch for places like Hayward. So places still holding on to a rain deficit. This should be helpful to you, and it should come across in a way that isn't going to cause any floods, unlike the last go-around we had where, yeah, there were some troubles, especially in Wisconsin. Tonight in Minnesota, a range of low temps goes 57 to 62. It's an 80% chance for this rain, and keep in mind, some of these storms could become severe, especially farther to the west. In Wisconsin and Michigan, 70% storm chance with lows from 62 to 65. Now, tomorrow, as the low continues to track by, we get a 50% chance for showers and storms coming back, especially in the afternoon for Wisconsin and Michigan. And from the thicker cloud cover, high temps only 73 to 75. That's cooler than normal after about 2 weeks of warmer than normal. Minnesota's high temps go 73 to 75 inland, but a little bit cooler by the lake, and a 60% chance for that afternoon shower and storm threat. I think things will go away once we get into the afternoon and evening hours, late in the afternoon into the evening. Extended forecast then shows cooler, calmer, and warmer beginning again come Wednesday, Tony and Kristen, with a redevelopment of storms possible on Saturday.
All right, thanks, Dave. The fate of local hockey tournaments is on thin ice. Arenas across the state are now weighing whether to hold those youth summer competitions as COVID-19 concerns linger.
This comes on the heels of a tournament in Ashland last month that led to a breakout in cases. As of Sunday, 4 out of 8 confirmed COVID-19 cases in Ashland are said to be linked to that tournament, and 24 other individuals are being monitored. CBS3's Leanne Valdez heard from a Duluth arena about what they're doing to stop the spread.
For the Fine family, hockey is a new sport.
Their son's our first hockey player.
Coming from a family of football and volleyball players, Father Matt Fine says hockey has been beneficial for the whole family.
Our kids just love it, and it's great for them.
Fine says that's why it was tough when they had to choose if their son would play summer hockey with COVID-19 still lingering.
It definitely has caused some angst and anxiety.
But ultimately made the decision to have him compete. The reason? Fine says Minnesota's response to COVID-19, along with area arenas' precautionary measures.
I feel like in Minnesota we've handled it better overall.
Steve Rude, manager of Mars Lakeview Arena, says they're proof of that.
We have not had any players or staff have any sort of confirmed COVID-19 cases.
The arena, home to Marshall's High School's hockey program and several others, opened up its rink on June 8th. Despite Minnesota Department of Health guidelines allowing tournament plays starting July 1st, so far, the arena is holding off because of COVID-19 concerns. Rude says their organization has taken multiple precautions to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
We are actually recommending that parents just drop off their athletes and not actually enter the building.
They're also not allowing players to shower, having a limited number use of locker rooms, and adding sanitization stations around the rink. Rude says he knows things can change day to day, so for now, they're keeping their eye on regulations and policies.
Making sure we're staying on top of our routines and not becoming complacent.
As of now, Mars Lakeview Arena plans to host a hockey tournament July 24th through the 26th. Rude says they're still deciding if that will happen.
Coming up in sports, a look back at just how special the group of seniors on the UMD hockey team were and what they did for the program these last 4 years.
Summer is here with Crestliner at Rave Sport and Marine.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Keep scrolling. Order food. Skip headlines. Order shoes. Use AutoSend for flowers. Use AutoSend for birthdays. Don't go outside. Don't go outside. Don't leave the phone behind. No sync. Don't blink. Don't think. Don't ever let yourself feel this alive. Breathe. Ride.
I'm Carrie Harris, owner of Diabetic and Comfort Shoes. We have been in business in the Northland helping you with your everyday foot problems stemming from diabetes to plantar fasciitis for the past 17 years. Stop in and see the complete line of men's and women's shoes, from SAS to Allegria to Vionic, for those millions of people battling plantar fasciitis. And we still have a great selection of comfortable shoes for diabetics, Medicare and Minnesota healthcare approved. Remember, no foot problem is too big or too small. We'll find the way to your soul.
Reclaim your life today in the face of anxiety, depression, or thoughts of suicide at Ketamine North Infusion. In our safe spaces, we want to ensure you a better quality of life with our low-dose IV ketamine infusions. Ketamine North Infusion. Be well with us.
Stone Countertop Outlet has thousands of slabs in stock. Every single one has a high-res photo online, making virtual design consultations easy. Visit stonecountertopoutlet.com or our new Superior showroom.
America's Most Watched Network. Tonight, starting at 7, only on CBS3 Duluth. Then, stay tuned for CBS3 News at 10. Live, local, CBS3.
The show critics are praising as genius is now the Emmy winner for Outstanding Talk Show Host. What? And the stars love it, too.
You're so good!
The Kelly Clarkson Show, weekdays at 3 on Live, local, CBS3.
Dude! You gonna pick that up? Because there's no poop fairy to do that for you. See? Take these. They're not just poop bags. They're pride bags. Because you're doing the right thing for your neighbors and for the health of the whole watershed. Gotta fly. There's a Chihuahua cranking one out in Leicester right now. There is no poop fairy.
I got into journalism when I was in high school, actually, and that's where I really fell in love with the news and the storytelling aspect of it. Being able to bring those things together and keep people informed. It's so important for us to be in a community like Duluth, to be able to hear your stories and then bring them to everybody else in the community.
Wake up with Austin and Jenna at 5 a.m.
It was back in March that the UMD men's hockey season had their season cut short due to COVID-19, meaning the senior class played their final games without even knowing it. Kelly Hintz says shows why special doesn't even begin to describe what this group did for a program.
In a way, every senior class in any college sport is special.
Those guys got, I think, the loudest ovation I've ever heard on senior night.
But then there's the 2020 UMD men's hockey senior class.
Shane Miller!
Ask anyone from this quad. Their answer for their career highlights will all align with one another's.
Obviously, the 2 national championships is a pretty ezy answer to just come up with right on the spot.
Play to win, and when you get to win 2 championships, it's definitely what you'll remember.
Remember the championships, those stand out kind of when you think of what we've accomplished over the last 3.5 years.
That pair of titles, 2018-2019, that followed a freshman season of heartbreak.
It's gonna be Denver!
remember we came back and we forgot about what went on. We remember it hurt. It's a new year, new team.
And then there's that stuff that doesn't go on a banner in the rafter.
Hoagie is what I'll remember. Just the family that we have here. It's why we have success here.
Starts with the culture. Egos are checked at the door. Nobody's above the program, and nobody's bigger than that logo that we wear on the front of our jersey.
Shed tears in that locker room together, and but also had more smiles than we had tears.
So the coaching staff and support staff that we've had, not only they're trying to make them better hockey players, but they're also trying to make them better people as well.
I was going to get along, but that's kind of like me and my brother. Get in a fight, I still love it.
Unfortunately, out of the hands of Jared Hilderman, Jade Miller, Hunter Shepard, and Nick Wolf, their senior season will likely be remembered for a different reason. The National Collegiate Hockey Conference announced today that the NCHC tournament has been canceled. The UMD men's hockey team was slated to play at least 2 games this weekend. A global cancellation of all sport, completely out of their control.
Ward going to the net. Ward a shot, and what a save by Hunter Shepard!
So.
And now the other way, it's Lateral for UMD to the back, and he scores!
We won't ever know if this group would have made it a three-peat. Or...
Now together, this group won 6 out of the 8 tournaments in their 4-year span, while at UMD including 2 national titles. Staying on the ice, Hibbing, Minnesota native Scott Perunovich officially put pen to paper this afternoon. The Hobie Baker Award winner signed his 2-year entry-level contract with the St. Louis Blues and will be eligible to join the Blues in the 2020-2021 season. Perunovich was drafted 45th overall in the 2018 NHL draft. The 2-time NCAA national champion defenseman tallied 105 points in 115 regular season games during his time at UMD. That's going to do it for sports. We'll have more back here at 10. Kristen, Tony, back to you.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Coming up later tonight, Duluth is the latest city to be taking up the issue of a mandatory mask ordinance for public places within the city. It's been a conversation that has sparked nationwide debate and will now be deliberated on by the City Council tonight. We'll have the latest on what comes out of the meeting tonight on the CBS3 News at 10.
All right, Dave, you're tracking a few storms for tonight, huh?
Yeah, they're still outside of our area, but I think by 8 o'clock they'll be over towards Grand Rapids, maybe 10 p.m. here in the Twin Ports, and by midnight through much of northern Wisconsin and the UP. The first 8 hours could be on the severe side, especially to the west of Duluth, so please watch out in case we get another go-around with the strong weather like we had last week. Then tomorrow, 60% rain chances, more towards showers and isolated non-severe thunderstorms, in turn giving way back towards sunshine once we get into Wednesday.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you again at 10.